Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mohammed bin Bilal and you're watching Brief. Gwadar will gain the status of an international port soon. The Secretariat of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor has said that work is underway for the development of Gwadar city, besides giving practical shape to the economic zone of Gwadar. The work on the project of the East Bay Expressway had already started, under which a 19-kilometer long 4-lane highway would be constructed. I have with me Mr. Yasir Masood, who is the Director of Media and Publications at the Center of Excellence, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. He's a geostrategic analyst and contributes to the English dailies on a regular basis. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
So the first question I want to ask you is that as CPEC is gaining traction, Gwadar goes straight to the forefront. The question here is, what would be the potential of this deep water seaport, in your view?
Well, when we talk about Gwadar, we call it as heart of CPEC. Now it is important to know for the masses that why do we call Gwadar as heart of CPEC? What is the strategic importance of that? I think it's important in multifaceted ways. One, because it's a deep sea port and there are very few deep sea ports in the world. And I would like to mention here that Gwadar will have the capacity of 300 to 400 million shipping capacity. And if we compare it with other ports like Chabahar, it's just a tiny matter. Gwadar is a hub port. It's a bigger port in the region. And the strategic implications are many. And that is why Chinese had this vision and they had inclination to develop Gwadar simply for the reason because its strategic location is very important, because we know that it is going to connect Africa, it is going to connect the whole Middle East, it is going to connect the Central Asian republics and Europe. So that is why it is the need of Chinese as well. Then when we call CPEC as a game changer, there are game changing aspects for Chinese as well at the same time. And that is why Gwadar as a hub port, Gwadar will have huge infrastructure. It will be developed as a there is an international airport which is going to be developed in Gwadar, and because of that there will be many Pakistan would be able to attract lots of investments from different parts of the world. So in all respects Gwadar is important for CPEC, and Gwadar is important for China, and Gwadar is important because it is in the mouth, it's located right at the mouth of Strait of Hormuz. And there are about, if my figure is not wrong, there are about 40% of the world's oil is located there. So Pakistan is going to be benefited through Gwadar a lot.
Okay. So many eyebrows have been raised internally over whether or not we are handling this matter prudently. Would the developments be useful to all the stakeholders?
Yes, because there is an important component. Even when we call the bigger concept of, if we see the bigger concept of BRI, there is an important component of inclusiveness, which is also reflected in China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And through inclusivity, when we say that the whole project is inclusive, it means that it is going to benefit each and every sector, be it agriculture, be it industries, be it socio-economic impacts. So it is going to give benefit to each and every sector of Pakistan's progress and economy. So in that sense, if we say that the matter has not been handled prudently, I would not second this opinion, because so far especially through the after the long-term plan which is devised by the Pakistani and Chinese government, there are many things which are crystal clear now, because there will be a huge share of in the agriculture sector. There will be a revival of industrialization in Pakistan, and then we did not have the technology and the skills, which we were miles away from that technology. So China is going to bring that awareness and technology to Pakistan, which will be reflected even in the small and medium industries as well. So more or less in each and every sector, when we say it's inclusive, it is beneficial for all, and it would be a win-win situation for all the sectors as well.
So there are concerns regarding the agreements of Gwadar that it's not really transparent. Is there any truth to these statements?
I think these are misconceptions, these are rumors, these are misperceptions which are embedded in the people's mind, and which are, I would say, that injected into the people's mind so that a doubt can be created, especially there are nefarious designs, and especially those forces which are working against CPAC. These kinds of theories are emanating from them, but there is no I would say that there is no substance to such slogans that that the projects or the feasibility reports or the agreements are not crystal clear, or they are not.
So you deny the fact that these are actually
Absolutely, because I would go back to the long-term plan, that all the agreements are crystal clear now, and it's an open document, everybody can read that.
So if they're not true, then what measures can be adopted to assure the general public that this is in fact a mutually beneficial agreement for both countries of Pakistan and China?
Well, we need to disseminate this fact, we need to hammer this into the people's mind. We need to re-inculcate.
But they will need facts and figures and substantiation.
Exactly, I'm coming to that. And for that purpose, we need evidence-based research. We need evidence-based information. Rather we should falling prey to those misconceptions or misperceptions which are spreading in the social media, which are spreading in the mainstream media or the print media. I think government is doing a lot, for the responses of all that, and I think a lot of work needs to be done, because common people, they believe that CPAC is about roads, it's about infrastructure. It's not that, it's much more beyond that. It's not about roads, it's not about corridors alone. I would say that it's a whole concept. It's not about economic growth as well, although economic growth is part and parcel of it, but then socio-cultural impacts, the socio-economic impacts are also equally related to that. Language barriers, historical legacy will also be shared between China and Pakistan. So these are multifaceted factors through which Pakistan will be enriched through CPAC. So we need to capitalize on those issues, on those benefits, and we need to spread this, disseminate this information through media and through research.
China's engagement with Pakistan gives an opportunity to counterbalance the Indian-American pressure. At the same time, Pakistan has its own interest to pursue a closer economic relationship with China. This can be used to offset the pressure that is within the region. Can you shed some light on the benefits of this mutual cooperation?
Yes, it's a very important question, in a sense that I would say that Pakistan unfortunately was remained under the fold of geostrategic policies, and Pakistan compromised the geo-economic policies for one reason or the other. And if we see through the spectacle of international relations, I think so there are external forces which are working against the whole concept of Belt and Road Initiative as well as against CPAC. So we know that there is a strong strategic partnership between US and India. I would say that the love affair has been created between them, and the more they are getting closer, the more they are opposing CPAC and our objectives. China, as a rising star, is playing a very major role, because with the partnership, the strategic partnership of China and Pakistan, we would be able to offset all those policies.
And the role of Gwadar.
The role of Gwadar would help a great deal in that sense. So the nutshell is that it's a different world altogether. Gone are the days when geostrategic policies used to rule. In this day and age, geo-economic policies define and decide the relationships. So if Pakistan have better economy, Pakistan would have better international standing, Pakistan would be able to use its objective at the international canvas, and the same would be reflected internally. We would have a better internal cohesion and a better internal situation.
Right.
So in all respects, this strategic partnership is going to help Pakistan inside out.
So if not connected properly to the rest of the country, any seaport is useless. Keeping this in mind, why aren't we connecting Gwadar to the rest of the country or to the rest of the ports that we have within our country?
Well, I think so. There are plans and there are feasibility reports already available there are inclination of both Pakistan and China that we are looking forward that we need to connect this to the other ports, because it will have its multiplying effect. If we confine and see Gwadar as a port between China and Pakistan alone, it would not be useful for Pakistan. So if definitely there are recommendations that it may be connected with the other ports internally, as well as external ports can also join hands with Gwadar. So and by doing so, it will have a very positive implications on Pakistan's economy, because it will have its trickle-down effect, which will be reflected in the far-flung areas, even if we talk about Balochistan, even if we talk about Fatah. And there is and this road connectivity to Gwadar all the way from Kashgar and rail connectivity is itself would be a big boost for Pakistan economy. So if we say that if it is not being connected, no, it's a wrong premise. I think it will be connected, and there are recommendations for that, and definitely Pakistan will get benefit out of it.
All right. So the local population of Balochistan is concerned that the demography will change to their detriment. Do you think that there are measures that the state can adopt to incorporate the local population into these projects?
I think so. China and Pakistan both are wary of this fact. And since when we call that Gwadar is the centerpiece or the nucleus or the heart of CPEC, it's beyond any shadow of a doubt that Balochistan will not get its due share. Definitely Balochistan will get its due share to the utmost, and Balochistan will be prioritized, even if we talk about the far-flung areas of Balochistan. So, and as far as demography is concerned, I think so when such a colossal economy take place in any part of the world or any country, it has its different dynamics. And in this day and age, I think so when there is an economic activity, when we say that Gwadar would become an international hub and international city, then definitely it will give birth to multiculturalism. So we have all these facts in mind, and the more the Balochistani people, the Balochi people will get its due share, there will be employment for them. I think so they would be quite happy with that.
All right. From the perspectives of the Gulf states and Iran, Gwadar is an emerging rival port in the region. They fear that Gwadar will share the economic and trade activities which otherwise they are enjoying at the current moment. Can the port of Chabahar be integrated into CPEC? And what will be the implications if it can?
Of course, Chabahar can be integrated, because there is no harm in doing that, because it's equally important or equally beneficial for Gwadar as well as for Iran as well. So on the positive side, if there is no harm in doing that, and as I mentioned that both Chinese and Pakistani government, they are equally welcoming if there is an integration of other ports, and we call it as a sister port as well. But I mentioned that Gwadar is a hub port, and it could be merged or integrated in Gwadar. As far as the Gwadar is being seen as a rival port, especially the Dubai or other many Middle Eastern countries are viewing it. But I think so the strategic location of Gwadar is very important, and even if they have a rivalry, I don't think so that it will have any negative implications for Gwadar port or for Pakistan or for China, because China is committed that they are going to develop Gwadar, and it is going to benefit both China and Pakistan. And I'm sure that in the coming times, Gwadar would have its central importance in the Strait of Hormuz or amongst the other ports because of its many advantages.
Thank you for joining us. As Yasser said, Gwadar will play a crucial role in achieving the goal of the Asian century and will become the main trade hub of the Asian region in the near future. Despite there being concerns, there is no doubt that the potential of Gwadar to transform the region's trade is monumental. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all again next week.